Hey, what's up and welcome everyone to my 2022 $20,000 gaming streaming setup tour. Let's take a look. Never mind the microphone, our lav mic broke, so we're just gonna be doing it all from here. All right, so let's start with the thing I get the most questions about, and that is the wall behind me. This is my backdrop for all my videos. This is my backdrop for my stream. And if you didn't know what it is by now, it is actually plastic paneling. So no, it's not acoustic foam, which would actually be extremely expensive, but it does help out with some of the sound treatment because it's a non-uniform wall. But as you can see, one of the best parts about it is all of the sides of these interlock, not like a straight square. So it's really tough to break out the pattern from a distance. But the most important thing is how we did the lighting in the room. So me and my wife, Heather, put together this little baseboard down at the bottom, and there's actually two LEDs that are running. We've got a nanoleaf lines on the front, and on the back, we have some LIFX LEDs. So the effect that creates is with that L bracket, on the front side of it, if we didn't have those nanoleaf, it would just be a clean black stripe. You wouldn't be able to see the LED lights, and it would just be blowing light up the wall. But I like the accent of the nanoleafs on the front, so that's what we did there. Another way to complement it is actually up above, we have my very fancy LED or LIFX bulbs, but the blue light is pushing off the back, but it's really nice because I can do two different color tones. I can have like red up here and green down here, or blue and purple for anything that I want. But whenever I'm trying to stream over here, I don't have to have all this blue light in my face, or as you can see, all this blue casting a shadow. When I get here into like streamer mode, I have all this nice warm light in front of me so I don't get a headache from looking around. A couple little things I missed on this wall. So obviously we have very classy black duct tape all the way around here. Now we could cut all of these panels, but frankly, we're going to be moving out of this house. This isn't my forever home within the next probably year and a half. So we just ended up pushing it to here, putting duct tape underneath here. We decided not to cut it. Even at the top, actually, these are just hanging over the top, and from a distance you can't even tell. So it allows you kind of that flexibility if you're worried about the hassle of it all. These are all connected via 3M strips, those like double-sided adhesive on the back, duct taped as necessary. And then even actually behind here, this entire like segment is a giant window, but we got a piece of plywood, cut it out, stuck it into the window with L brackets, and so it allows me to have a nice aesthetic wall when I'm looking back into this direction from my setup. So we've got a 2 PC triple monitor setup, and yeah, by the time that we add up all this together, especially with all the audio equipment, we're looking at well over $20,000. But I'm gonna throw some setup photos on the screen as we're rolling through this. I've been building this setup over the last 5-6 years as we've been growing the channel. From an Overwatch channel to a Blackout to a Fortnite to an Apex, now to Warzone. I've just been investing back into the business, slowly growing it, and it's been a hell of a journey. And now we have one hell of a setup to go along with it. All right, so the gaming PC that we have over here is an i9 10900K and a 3090 with custom overclocking by Foves. One of my buddy, he's also in the Air Force, and he custom overclocked this PC, and it is a dream. 1440p, I'm getting over 200 FPS. It's an absolute tank. Over there on the streaming side, that's an older gaming PC, and it's definitely overkill, but I've got a Ryzen 9 3900X and then a 2080 Ti. Basically, I'm able to stream off of the CPU and then record at a high bit rate off of the GPU, which allows me to get, 4K YouTube videos or 1440p YouTube videos, as opposed to some people that just rip stream VODs and it just doesn't look that good at all. Okay, so as for monitors, we have in the middle is a 1440p 240 hertz monitor. It's the Alienware 2721D, which is kind of like the staple in the community, but the only monitor that's better that just started to come out is the Asus PG279QM, also 1440p, also 244 hertz, but it has 240 hertz, but it has better colors and better response, and it just barely edges out the Alienware. Both are incredible monitors. The periphery monitors are just 1440p monitors. Nothing really special about those, nothing gaming oriented. As for what's on the desk, I do have to shout out, as of today, Scuf just came out with the Reflex FPS Custom Builder, where you can now customize your Scuf controllers. Now, they're sponsoring this video. If you don't know what a Scuf is, it's a custom controller that allows you a lot more ergonomics. Think about it in this way. Whenever we hold the controller, we have a trigger on the top, and we have our thumb on the front, and then we have 3 fingers wrapped around the back. So what a scuff allows you to do is put triggers on the back that allow you to remap the face buttons. So now I can aim and I can jump and I can crouch without ever taking my right stick off, or right thumb off the right stick. So today only, or not today only, they just released today, May 10th, the Reflex FPS Customizer. Beforehand, they were all like templates. If you don't like PlayStation, you can go and get yourself an Xbox One as well. That's customizable. That'll also be available on their site. Huge shout out to them. Make sure you use code Isaac. Code Isaac will get you 5% off your scuff. All right, let's talk about what else is on the desk. My mouse of choice is a Final Mouse Starlight. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get this Final Mouse Starlight Poseidon, which would have gone really nice with the blue vibes that I have here, but it's incredibly lightweight, great reaction time, input delay. Final Mouse is the way to go. The keyboard is a DYGMA Raise keyboard. It's a split ergonomic keyboard, but one of the best things about it is, never mind the mic, this is usually wrapped around. Whenever I'm trying to game, oftentimes I would swipe, and I would swipe into the side of my main keyboard. On my old mice, I would have like gashes in the side of it. So this allows me to get full range, but then if I need, I can just pull in the other side, and it's more meant for an ergonomic keyboard, but it also games exceptionally well. Outside of that, I have a Go XLR, which runs all of my audio. I have a Stream Deck, which helps me switch scenes. Typically, right here is where my camera would be, and my wife Heather is shooting this, and it's a Sony a7 IV, and what we're actually shooting this with is an f2.8 12-24. So as you saw with that opening shot from Heather, it can get some incredibly wide angle shots, which I plan to use for vlogs in the future as I'm traveling around. On the sides, we've got some Rocat keyboards. Shout out to them for sending me those keyboards. In the back, you can see we've got the Elgato key lights. If you ever want to build your own streaming setup, I highly recommend bouncing it off the back wall, because that back wall will diffuse the light as opposed to getting some glares on my giant freaking forehead. I've got the Elgato multi-arm mount, I forget what it's called, attached to a Sony ZV-1, which I use to record my hand cam. I can zoom in, which will allow me to zoom in for a controller and get some really nice overhead shots there as well. Now, I used to mount my monitors to my desk, but mounting them to the wall has allowed me to get like the absolute perfect height. There's a height calculator, I'll put it in the description, that tells you like the perfect height of your chair, of your desk, and of your monitors, and it's just helped my back and my neck so much just by the ergonomics of it all. Speaking of chair and desk, Herman Miller AERON. I used to use Secret Lab chairs for the longest time. They were cheaper and they're an incredible chair. I think their fabric chairs probably would have solved this problem. But I went with the Herman Miller because it's got the mesh, it's incredibly ergonomic, and frankly, the heat is a lot better down here after a long session as opposed to a leather one. For the desk, this is a custom-built desk. Honestly, it's dang near a dining room table. By the time I have two PCs and all this stuff on here, when I was using my old IKEA desk setup, which you can see, I'll have my editor put it up here, that thing was bowing bad. So this thing is solid as a rock. All right, let's talk about what else we have. This right here is one of the most clutch additions to your setup. It's a hand fan. My hands get not super sweaty, but in general, especially when playing on controller, get super sweaty when I'm trying to like be sweaty in game. I don't need that. So I have that fan blowing on my hands at all time to keep it cool for both controller and keyboard and mouse. This right here was a very, very healthy investment. I've always been like an aspiring audiophile. I've always loved audio equipment, and I invested in Sennheiser HD800S originally because I wanted to do some testing to see if they would help me out with the soundstage, because they have an incredible soundstage which allows you to hear direction, the openness of, you know, an entire environment, which I was hoping like, yeah, that's going to help me find footsteps in Warzone. Warzone audio is helpless. They're not going to help. Great success. Powering those headphones in the back, we have a DAC and an amp. I'm going to have the editor show that. The DAC is an SMSL D0200, and the amp is the Drop by THX 789. They also power these KEF LSX desktop speakers, which I got 2 years ago. Like I said, I've always been into audio, and these sound incredible. Like audio experience, almost tearing up listening to those speakers in combination with the SVS SB1000 subwoofer down there. While we're looking down there, I have two sets of foot pedals. The foot pedals, nice things about them are on the left side that connects to my streaming PC. The left one will mute so I can like talk to my chat without spamming everyone else that I'm talking to. The right will deafen, so if I'm in the middle of a gunfight, I can just deafen, and then that'll allow me to like hear everything that I need to hear. On the right, that connects to my game PC. If I want to talk to someone in game, like if I'm playing with randoms, I can just talk in game by pressing the left pedal, and the right pedal activates my aimbot. So moving back up on top of the desk, forgot to mention, this is the AQUA Control 2 or the AQUA Control 2 Plus mouse pad. I used to use the Glorious 3XL. It covers all the room both I need for the hand cam aesthetic, and it's a great competitive mouse pad. There's a whole rabbit hole of mouse pads you could go down, and I went down that rabbit hole. Fantastic mouse pad though. Moving over here on the side of my setup, I've got this light. It was just from Wayfair. Under here, I got a trash can. On both sides, I have UPSs plus battery backup, so universal power supply and a battery backup for both sides. In case I did get a power surge or power cut off, it would provide power to my system so I could safely shut them down. Over here, as you can see, I have a fire extinguisher. You guys know I'm big on preparedness and safety and firearms, but you're more than likely to have a house fire than a home invasion. So get a freaking fire extinguisher in your garage, in your bedroom, in your office, especially with all these electronics going on. Foam roller, because I'm trying to, stay fit, work off the dad bod. But outside of that, I think we covered almost everything. This is more logistical. I kind of cleared everything off. We'll put things up here for deliverables with brands. It'll help me keep track of, my videos and what videos I have planned for certain days. And yeah, also helps to keep me organized considering my wife is the manager, I'm the creator, and it makes us a pretty good team. Looking out here real quick, I'm surprised we don't have two cats staring at us. Back there is a Black & Decker air conditioning unit. We actually got that from Home Depot probably 6 years ago or something when we were living in Las Vegas. Nice thing about it is it blows cool air in my direction. I use this Vornado fan, which directs a crap ton of airflow into the room to keep all of this cool. With all these lights and all these PCs, it gets really hot in here. But then I don't want to ice out the rest of the house, so we actually have the tube leading into the living room. So all the hot air gets pushed to the living room where my wife likes it, and then all the cool air comes into me to help keep the room cool. Okay, and ladies and gentlemen, that concludes my 2022 $20,000 gaming streaming setup tour. If you guys have any recommendations on what I should do to improve it, let me know down in the comments. If you have any interest in things that I have here, I'll have Amazon affiliate links. Doesn't change your price, but it gives me like a couple pennies if you buy something. In the description, let me know if I missed something. I'm going to try to put everything in that description link. Outside of that, once again, shout out to Scuff for sponsoring this video, for partnering with me for over 3 years. Ever since I was a small creator, back at like 18,000 subscribers is when they partnered up with me. Now, starting May 10th, when this video releases, the Reflex FPS is now customizable. This has been in stock, out of stock, because the demand is crazy. Like I mentioned, on top of it, you can use code Isaac to get 5% off. Not only does it have the paddles on the back, some of the things that it has is like digital triggers, where you can click crazy fast, like it's a mouse click. You can change the height of your thumbsticks. It's all customizable. It will definitely change your game. Once you go Scuff, you do not go back. But huge shout out to them for sponsoring this video. Huge shout out to you guys for supporting me all these years to allow me to reinvest back into my setup and create my dream office streaming room. Thanks again, everyone, for checking out this video. Look forward to seeing you back in 2023 to see what the improvements are. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.